true that the economic freedom fighters have requested the Speaker to bring forward their motion. Now, I can't speak on behalf of the Speaker. You can ask the Speaker whether she will bring forward. That is her domain. I will not speak to that. I'm not the Speaker. What provision are we using in the Constitution to elect a president? The very same provisions that are used every day to elect a president. Are we not using Section 90? Section 90 is when you have not had an opportunity to elect a president, then the deputy acts as president or any member of cabinet, alternatively even the Speaker. So we are saying let's move fast and with certainty in electing a president as the Constitution of the Republic allows us to, and in terms of the Constitution of the Republic. So the amendments we'll be making, by the way, as the ANC, are amendments that do not detract from the essence of the motion of no confidence in the President of the Republic. We are bringing in the ANC reasons why the President must be removed. It looks like we are all in agreement that the President must go. All parties similarly are in agreement, including the ANC. That's why the Treasurer General was here to tell caucus that the NEC has recalled President Zuma. And in the statement of the NEC read by the Secretary General, you will know that towards this end, all parliamentary processes will ensue. So we are in keeping with what the NEC has decided on this particular matter. I will leave defiance matters to the Treasurer General.
Well, somebody was asking earlier whether the President is negotiating in bad faith. There are no negotiations. Perhaps the right word to use is that there were discussions between the leadership of the ANC, the officials, and President Zuma to find an exit for him that we use the word, we don't want him to be humiliated, want him to exit properly. So those were the discussions rather than negotiations. He has now chosen not to agree to leave, so the NEC was left with no option but to recall him. The parliamentary process are now ensuing. Should he resign, what happens to the cabinet? If President resigns, the cabinet stays. The Deputy President takes over, and we continue. However, if he doesn't resign and is recalled, then the whole cabinet goes. That's the difference. In that case, the Speaker will then be acting President until a new President is elected. I think the Chief Whip has answered the question that, yes, it's not a problem if the President of the Republic resigns, Deputy President will then be acting President until a new President is elected. And as the Chief Whip is saying, we could short-circuit that by ensuring that that election is brought forward much quicker. You don't even have to wait a day. Can President Zuma defy Parliament? It's no longer possible. Remember, once you have a motion that removes you, you are gone. There is no room for defying. That's the case. Maybe the question should be, can he defy the ANC? The ANC has recalled him, he has not resigned, so maybe that question belongs there, not in Parliament. In Parliament, the process is, once Parliament decides, that's the decision. The last question has covered the issue of, that was the issue, maybe you should deal with the secret ballots.
Yes. Well, the question of a secret ballot, by the way, is the onus on the Speaker whether the vote here in Parliament is through secret or open ballot. As ANC, we have no qualms with any. Bring it on. Can we have a sauna on Friday? By the way, again, if all things happen in the way we plan them to happen, yes, a sauna on Friday is possible. A sauna on Friday at 19 hours is possible. And that's what the Speaker has been pronouncing, and all of us are in agreement that yes, a sauna Friday evening and a debate on Monday is possible, depending whether there has been a resignation or there has been a vote of no confidence. Then the issue of the budget can also be looked at next week. But generally, we are quite confident that all these things can happen, and they must happen. We need to give certainty to people of South Africa. And indeed, there has been a lot of reportage that indicated that our country is in a state of limbo. We cannot continue to be in a state of limbo. We need to bring certainty that, yes, we are now on course, there is government is working, and Parliament is working. We cannot afford to have Parliament also in a state of limbo. Parliament will have a plenary session tomorrow.
Thank you. No. Wendell. No. Can we please behave ourselves, colleagues, please? We are going to take 3 questions from people who haven't asked a question. It will be Andy Siwe, it will be Lulama at the back, and Annika at the back, and then we are done.
I'm Makinana from City Press. Treasurer General of the ANC, you speak of a resignation and a recall, and you say the cabinet does resign and leave if it is a recall. Okay, but I mean there's no recall in the Constitution. In the Constitution, it says if the president is removed through a motion, all of them leave. Okay. So I just wanted clarity on that. But also, don't you think as the leadership of the ANC, you owe this country and the people of this country an apology for the mess that we've seen over the past 10 days or 2 weeks? Especially, But Jackson, looking at the role you've played as the caucus of the ANC over the past few years, defending the president to a point that you find yourself in this situation today. Don't you think you owe us, as South Africans, some explanation beyond what you've been telling us? Thank you.
Lulama Maja, SABC. Treasurer General, you've recalled the president. There's been media reports about he's asking for amnesty and security around certain issues and his court cases. What's the position of the ANC on that? Are you giving him amnesty? The charges. Secondly, to both of you, who we know you want ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of the country, and who is going to be his deputy. Thank you very much. Annika?
Thank you very much. Annika Larson from ENCA. Question for both of you, please. New cabinet appointments, how soon do you see those happening? Because if the budget is still set down for the 21st, there could be, and perhaps you can confirm this, a new finance minister.
Thank you, colleagues. As we said, that will be the last round of questions. The TG and the Chief Whip will respond. Thank you.
I'll just deal with those questions that are not difficult. Leave the difficult one to the Treasurer General. The Makinana, the Fact of the matter is that the African National Congress has recalled President Zuma. The caucus of the ANC is acting on the basis of this recall that the ANC has effected. Could we done other things differently? It's something that perhaps we could look at as we move forward. It's something that we could look at, but where we stand now, the leadership of the ANC, indeed informed by its wisdom, informed by its willingness to serve the people of this country, has decided to recall President Zuma. And I believe that was in the best interest, not only of the ANC, not only of Parliament, but also of our country. That's what we can say in answer to your question.
I was not quite sure what you meant by the mess of 10 days. Or perhaps you're saying that we were delaying.
Well, Gigi, there was supposed to be a SONA on Thursday last week. There are people who flew into Cape Town for SONA who are still stuck in Cape Town in SONA, for instance.
Okay. No, obviously we should apologize to all people who have been inconvenienced. I remember that we had planned to proceed as planned with SONA until we had this challenge. Of course, we didn't want to inconvenience anybody, but you can see that we're now moving with speed, take into account that there should be certainty around these issues. The question about who is going to be deputy
President.
The president, that matter has not been discussed by the president of the ANC and the leadership of the ANC, so it will come at a later stage. I think the most pressing issue is that we need to get President Ramaphosa elected as president, and everything will flow from that. Obviously, issues of the new cabinet, etc., those are issues that the president deals with once elected. If there's a need to change anybody, we can't deal with it now. But I think where we are now, the certainty is that the chief whip is going to a meeting at 2. He will then impress upon all parties about the need to move ahead with the sitting tomorrow, hoping everybody will agree, and hopingly the presiding officers will find it possible. In fact, it's just the National Assembly, so it's not a joint sitting. So the Speaker of the National Assembly will then look at the possibility of proceeding. Many members of Parliament are already around Cape Town because Parliament is in a working session. So it's not like they'll be coming from very far. So we should be able to proceed. The last question was, are we prepared to give amnesty? President Zuma has not asked for any of those things. He has not asked for us to pay his legal fees. He has not asked for amnesty, none of those. And let me say that as the ANC, obviously, we don't deal with those issues of amnesty and so on. Those are constitutional and legal matters that are in the purview of Parliament and are dealt with there. So there were no such discussion between us and President Zuma.
Thank you, TG. Colleagues, that...
I don't know what was that question about the budget, because we have assured colleagues here that there are timelines that we are supposed to adhere to in terms of the budget statement. we will not, no matter what happens, we will not be outside of those timelines that are regulated as it relates to the budget. So we are saying that with the budget, as we stand now, we have a budget that is scheduled, budget speech and statement that is scheduled for the 21st of February. That has not changed. That has not been postponed. You know, a few days, postponement. The budget has not been postponed. Now, if there were to be circumstances that were to give rise to the postponement of the budget, including a vote of no confidence, indeed, as ANC, we will ensure that the second week of March does not come and go without the budget having been put before the people of South Africa. So that is an assurance that we give. But from where we are seated, we still have a budget on the 21st. Of course, that can only be disturbed by a vote of no confidence tomorrow. That can disturb that certainty. But of course, the assurance we give is that we will also be moving with speed. That's why we're saying we must put in place a precedent immediately. And it will be up to the president to put in place a cabinet immediately after the vote of no confidence, so that we don't disturb all these processes of budget statements and related matters.
Thank you very much, colleagues. As we said, that was the last and final round. As you know, that the Chief Whip does have a meeting in 45 minutes in this very same venue. So we would really appreciate it if we can clear the venue as soon as possible in preparation for the Chief Whip's forum at 2 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next time we will give you food. Next time.
Always give them food.